Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. And if you're on this video, we're going to be breaking down game number 3 between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. It's been pretty lopsided over the first 2 games, but we're going to be breaking down a little bit of game number 2, a little bit of a recap of that game. Then we're going to get into game number 3. I have a side and 2 player props today, which I'm very excited to talk about. Let's just say I'm hoping it's raining threes in this game. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure you guys are dropping likes on this. Subscribe to the channel below. Every like and sub goes a long way, and I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in. All right, guys, let's break down some ball. Let's take a look at this leaderboard from game number 2. It's been brutal so far, but I'm looking to change the tide here. 0-1 day on the game pick. We had the Dallas Mavericks +7. That one did push. The loser was over 103.5. It looked pretty good. I thought it was going to hit, and then the Celtics defense in the second half, they just shut everything down. Luka, he can only do so much. Dallas Mavericks have missed a ton of shots. So an 0-1 day there on the game pick side. Player props were just as brutal. Kyrie Irving, no show again. Lucky has his number. He can't make anything. And then Jason Tatum, this one hurt. There was a foul call late in the game to grab his 10th rebound, but it was free throws instead. So we did get hooked on his rebounds of 9.5. He finished with 9 in the game. Tatum, he was pretty ineffective, but he did almost drop a triple-double. So I don't know. You can call him good. You can call him bad. He didn't make a lot of shots. He shot poorly from the field, but I guess it doesn't really matter because the Boston Celtics, they still dominated in that game. So Jason Tatum, almost a triple-double, just could not get another rebound for that one to cash. All right, let's go to game number 3. I've got a different approach this time around. The Dallas Mavericks are going to be back at home. It's an important game. Back against the wall. They're -1.5. I don't know why they're favored in this game. It honestly makes me a little bit nervous as to why they're the favorites. The line should not be that way. But I'm taking the Boston Celtics here on the money line because I'm tired of losing, taking the worst team. It is very clear now, and it's been very clear earlier in the season that the Boston Celtics are the best team in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks, they have a ton of great talent. The role players over the Boston Celtics, they're just so much more important, and they're so much more dominant than the Dallas Mavericks. We've seen it so far in the first 2 games. And I'm not even talking about game number 1 because Boston, they dominated the Mavs in that game. It didn't really matter who shut up in that game. I just want to talk about game number 2 because Luka, he had a 30-plus point triple-double, and nobody around him could do anything. Nobody was making shots. Nobody was playing very good defense, and the lack of success that they've had from the three-point range has been the reason that they can't keep up in these games. They're going to be at home in this game. The role players, they say they usually play better at home. We're going to see about that. But if I'm going off of what I've watched over the first 2 games, you have to take the Boston Celtics here. The all-stars for the Boston Celtics, we can call them Jason Tatum. We can call them Jaylen Brown. They are playing very well, and I think Jaylen Brown probably has the Finals MVP locked up right now. But Jason Tatum's not scoring a lot of points. I already touched on that. They're still dominating this Dallas Mavericks team because Derek White, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, all those guys are contributing. If you really wanted to break it down, the Boston Celtics should have at least 4 Supermax contract players on their team. I think Derek White deserves a huge contract. Obviously, Jason Tatum, he's up there. Jaylen Brown, they've already got those 2 paid. But then we've got Kristaps Porzingis as well. He needs a massive contract. We've got Drew Holiday. He's been the best defender on this team. And then he was the leading scorer, I believe, in game number 2. So this team all around, they don't really have a weakness. I'd say if they do have a weakness, it's that they just sometimes let off the gas pedal a little bit, but they haven't shown it yet in the first 2 games. They have done a very good job over the first 2 games of the playoffs. We also have Luka being extremely hurt over the first 2 games. It was very obvious in game number 2. He has been a much better defender in the playoffs, but if you go back and watch the tape, I saw a lot of tape on Twitter about Luka getting blown by, and it's true. He got blown by a lot in game number 2 on the defensive side. He's a liability out there on that side. Great offensively. They need him on the offensive side of the ball, but he's a liability on defense. It's very hard to defend a 4-on-5. We also have Kyrie Irving just sucking the life out of this team, having back-to-back horrible performances. One guy can't beat 4 superstars. It's just not going to happen. Even though the Dallas Mavericks have the back against the wall in this game, they're going to be back at home. They should play better. I'm still going to take the Boston Celtics. I'm tired of backing a team who has to have their A-plus game to stay competitive. Give me Boston here on the money line as the play. Let's go take a look at the props for this game. We are going to start with one of my favorite guys. I love Derek White. I'm going to take Derek White over his 3-pointers made. If you guys have been here since the start of the playoffs, you know that I took him over his total points in every single game against the Miami Heat. I think he hit 7 consecutive over points until they made an adjustment on the book, and then he went under, but he's still been a very reliable guy for the Boston Celtics and for over player props in the playoffs. We're going to take his over 3.5 made threes going up against the Dallas Mavericks, and this is going to come out at plus money. He's over 2.5 made threes right now at -160. So take a chance, take a little bit of plus money cash on this play. The numbers for Derek White, they've been fantastic in the playoffs. In the regular season, he was a very good three-point shooter. He is coming into this game already in the first 2 games, making 7 3-point shots against the Dallas Mavericks. having 4 in the last game against them. He's shooting 39.6% from deep on the season, which is a great number. But I'm not taking him because he can make the shots. I'm taking him because he takes a ton of shots from deep. It would be a different story if he was only taking 6 or 7 shots from deep per game. He does have pretty good success, a good hit rate from 3, but I don't think it'd be worth taking him at that number. But Derek White, he's been shooting a ton of 3-point shots in the playoffs. He's taken 8+ 3-point attempts in the last 10 games. He's taken 8+ in all 10 games. In the series so far against the Dallas Mavericks, he's attempted 18 3-point shots. He's made 7 of them. The Boston Celtics, they've been extremely good at finding the open man, and the ball movement has been elite on that side. Everybody on the floor can make a shot, so they're trying to get to the open man, and a lot of times Derek White is the open man on the outside. So I'm going to take him here over 3.5 made threes going up against the Dallas Mavericks. The second play is going to be for the Dallas Mavericks. Give me PJ Washington here, over 2.5 made threes going up against the Celtics. I almost moved PJ Washington into an elite starting role for the Dallas Mavericks because he has been playing some pretty good basketball in the playoffs, but he's just been so inconsistent, especially on the road this season in the playoffs. This is a role player, and I think he's perfectly fine taking that role with Kyrie Irving and Luka doing most of the damage. Role players, they play better at home. That's what they say, and that's what we've seen from PJ Washington, especially from 3-point range in the playoffs. Over the last 6 road games, he's played 2 games against the Celtics, 3 games against the T-Wolves, 1 game against the Thunder. He shot a combined 7 of 32 from 3-point range on the road. That's a 21.8% percentage from deep in those 6 road games. If we take a look at the games that he's played at home for the Mavericks, 2 games against the Thunder, 2 games against the T-Wolves so far, he shot a combined 11 of 31 from deep. That's 35.5% from 3-point range. So he's shooting about 14% better from deep at home versus on the road, and he takes a lot more 3-point shots at home. He took about the same amount of shots in 4 games compared to 6 games on the road. If you look at his home stat makes from 3, he has made 2+ in 4 consecutive games. He's a very streaky shooter, but the one thing PJ Washington's not afraid of doing is letting it fly. He has maybe a little bit of false confidence, but at least he has some sort of confidence. He's coming into this game. He's going to let it fly. He's probably going to have 6 to 8 3-point shot attempts. That's more than enough for me to take him very comfortably in this game to go over 2.5. And if he puts up that kind of volume, I'm going to take him every single time from the outside. So I'm going to take PJ Washington here. Hopefully he takes between 6 and 8 3-point shot attempts, but I like him over 2.5 made threes as the play there. All right, guys, let's go over to the graphic for the NBA plays. It is going to be the Boston Celtics on the money line going up against the Mavericks. I really think if Boston wins this game, it's going to be a 4-game sweep. I think if this is going to be the best shot the Dallas Mavericks have to beat them in their first home game, backs against the wall. So I'm going to take Boston here. I think there's just a better overall team, tired of losing with the Mavericks. So Boston money line. Then I've got Derek White over 3.5 made threes plus 125 against the Mavericks. And then PJ Washington over 2.5 made threes going up against the Boston Celtics. Guys, that's going to do it for the NBA Plays and Props for Wednesday, June 12th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe down below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.